Welcome to Two Tangled Skeins. I'm Sue, also known as Crafty Knitter 7. Today we are June 18th, and this is episode 163. I'd like to welcome returning and new viewers.
I'm Lynne, also known as Toll Baby. You can find us on our blog at twotangledskeins.com. You can find us on YouTube and Twitter. We have a Facebook group, and we have a Ravelry group, so you should come join us.
I just realized I wasn't even looking at the camera when I said all that. I was looking at the show notes.
I kept glancing down. Eventually we'll get the hang of this.
We will.
Maybe after another 5 or 6 years.
You know, it's going on 4 there at the end of July.
I know.
I have to start thinking of anniversary.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, Lord. We're almost at 1,600 people in the group.
I'm getting a little overwhelmed thinking about dinner at this point.
Okay.
It's been a rough week for both of us, I think.
So today is actually a special day in my household and in Selma's household because it's both of our boys' birthdays. So, happy birthday, Tyler. Happy birthday, Yato. Tyler is 18 and Yato is, I think he turns 13. Yeah.
Pretty sure he was turning 13.
Yep.
He has a girlfriend, and Selma's completely freaked out about this whole, oh my god, I have a teenager thing.
Yeah.
Old news for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I traded the 14-year-old back in this week.
You need to
She stays with her dad, and my son stays with me right now, just because it's easier. And we switched last week, and she was like, oh, but it's so boring at your house, because I don't have a PlayStation and an Xbox One.
Free Wi-Fi.
And, yeah, 5 or 6 computers so they can all be on at the same time. I have Wi-Fi.
No, but I'm saying
But
she doesn't.
Yeah, I don't have all the fun stuff that's at her father's house. So she's like, oh, it's so boring at your house.
And my son, something to do.
My son comes home and he goes, well, it wasn't much more exciting at Dad's house. Their dad lives on the 2nd floor of a 3-story condo. And it gets really, really, really hot in his apartment. And I live in a basement. I barely have to use the air conditioning in the summertime because it's so nice and cool downstairs. Of course, last night Zach left all the lights, the windows open when he went to bed, so it was sweltering in the apartment this morning. But most of the time it's nice and cool in my apartment. And my AC unit is pretty efficient, so yeah.
Oh, speaking of AC units, it died.
Oh.
Lynn gave us an old AC unit.
Oh, that one. I thought you were talking about the one for the house.
No. So he plugged it in because my husband brews beer, and you kind of have to have certain temperatures while it's fermenting. It didn't work. So we got a year out of it.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
No. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I gave it to you last summer, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, because it was my grandmother's AC unit from her apartment. She died 4 or 5 years ago. And had lived with my aunt and uncle for 10 years. So it was from before that.
Okay. So getting a year
I'm not
out of
surprised it.
No, if our house one goes, basically our house one was a heating and cooling. The heating part stopped working, so the guy we have that does our furnace made it to cool only. It's 20 years old.
Oh yeah, it's about time.
But
to replace it.
Still going.
Yeah, but be prepared.
Oh yeah, we're going to be prepared. It's just one of these days, right? It's just going to go kaput. So
yeah, this is a knitting show.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, imagine that.
Not that I've been doing much knitting this week.
I've been frogging. All I've been doing is...
I came so close to finishing my square last night, and then I just lost my will to live.
And I'm frogging, but it's not the pattern, it's me. Anyhow. So we have no foes.
No foes. Not even the stupid dishcloth I was working on last week because I totally forgot about it once I got home and hadn't touched it. Until I went looking for my needles to start a new one this morning because I was like, I have nothing I can knit on the podcast. It's all too complicated. I need to follow the patterns. And then I was like, where are my darn needles? And I searched the whole house for them. And then I was like, oh, wait.
They're right where you
They'd
left them.
be in the podcast, the bag that I brought to Sue's last week. So I started to... And then I realized there was still half a dishcloth on it. I was like, oh.
So no excitement of starting something new. So, you want to go first?
And today's Worldwide Knit in Public Day.
It is.
Hi, guys.
Yep.
Our local knit group is on, is it Confederation Square? Which is right around the corner from Parliament Buildings. So they're all having a great old time in the sweltering heat. Which was the other reason I really didn't want to go. I don't do summer.
I was like, you can go. We don't have to record. She's like, no.
Nice and cool in here. I don't do summer. I hate heat. And right now it's 32 degrees outside Celsius, which is about 83, 84.
That's with or without?
That's without. That's just the straight temperature. And that's way too hot for me. I'm happiest around 60 to 70 Fahrenheit, which
She's a
is
fall and
about
winter
20.
Person.
Yeah. I'm not so much a winter person, but
Spring?
I don't spend a lot of time outside in the winter. Spring and fall, and the rest of the time I am indoors. I do not do outside.
She's indoors for the heat or the cooling. One or the other.
And I don't like going outside. But anyway, they're all downtown, and they're having a great old time right now, actually, for the next 2 hours. So if you're in Ottawa, well, you won't see this till after, but hopefully you're outside with them.
Or outside somewhere.
Yes. Because there are several groups in Ottawa who were getting together at different spots. I think Wabi Sabi was having a sidewalk knit along.
Was it Deb or Carlene?
Somebody's doing something at Andrew Hayden Park. Yeah. So there's all kinds of stuff outside. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we're inside, so.
We're knitting. Kind of in public.
I'm sort of knitting.
So what you knitting?
I'm waving the white flag. I just don't have it in me anymore. I don't know if it's because it's hot.
Yeah, but you're also knitting. Okay. You're knitting the same thing.
Well, no, I'm not, because I cast on a new project this week. You know the blanket squares? I'm supposed to be working exclusively on the blanket squares. Yeah.
So what is the white flag anyway?
Well, this is the dishcloth I was working on last week, which is the Diagonal Knit Dishcloth by Jana Trent. I'm going to try and stretch it out a little bit here on the needles, because it's like the basic knitted dishcloth, or the granny's favorite dishcloth, or whatever you want to call it, except it's got this nice little lace panel in the middle. It's got this eyelet panel in the middle to give it some interest and make you not want to stab your eyes out.
And that would also, too, if you're using, you would use for scrubbing, right?
Because it's got these really, the knit two togethers in the middle are really, really scrubby. And it's kind of nifty, and I want to make a bunch of these, so.
You better finish that one.
There we go. And it is out of Bernat Cotton Tots, which I believe was discontinued, but might be making a comeback, only in smaller balls, I think. It's either the Bernat Socks or the Bernat Cotton Tots that they just brought back. I don't remember which.
I thought it was socks.
It might be socks.
I don't know.
Just ignore me. Everything I own is discontinued.
But they're starting to bring stuff back.
I'd like to think that might be in some small part because of me. Because it's all I use and I really love it and I talk about it all the time. Mm-hmm. So anyway, it is on size 4.5 millimeter needles, which is a US 7. And they're the little red heart kids needles. The little red heart kids needles that you can get at Walmart.
Yeah, I have a
little plastic ones.
Set.
I have them all because I like them for dishcloths. I originally bought them to teach my daughter to knit, and she demonstrated interest for about 5 minutes, and then that was it.
I still have part of a scarf somewhere that Tyler knit.
My daughter has trouble following instructions. If you say, please go to the fridge and bring back the water pitcher, she will remember go to the fridge. She will not remember anything about the water pitcher or that you even sent her to the fridge. She will go to the fridge, grab herself something to eat, and wander off. It's frustrating. So frustrating. And we had her tested for learning disabilities, and she's perfectly capable of following directions. She just doesn't pay attention. So, anyway, that's my first whip. There are no foes, so it's just whips and chains all day. Mm-hmm. Yes? Nothing? We really have to get Mike to start watching the podcast.
Our own?
Yes.
Why?
I think he'd get a kick out of it. Yeah. So the poor blanket square. Ah! And of course the ball just went flying.
Bag down. Bag down.
totally not what it sounded like. Anyway, the blanket square. And the poor blanket square, that's the color. That's the color.
See? So it's working with the lights that I have on.
Yeah.
Every single light.
But if I turn it back this way, it's blue.
Yeah.
So it likes the yellow light, not the white light. Because our studio light is over there, and that's just a desk lamp that she has. So, yes, it's...
Okay, now I'm seeing spots.
Because you were looking at the lamps, weren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Look at the light.
Look at the light. I know. Good for something.
So, I got about 2/3 of the way in, and then just... So, granted, I got 2/3 of the way in around 11 o'clock last night. Which is early for me.
I was going to say, yeah.
Because I don't go to bed till like 3 or 4.
I'm like, yeah, another couple hours to go.
The sky was getting lighter when I went to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to drag myself out of bed at 12:30 to come here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, around 12, I'm like, she hasn't been online for 7 hours. It'll come.
Yeah, I wasn't up yet.
Nope.
I pressed the snooze button until 12:30.
And then went, okay, I need to go now.
And I discovered that I can actually get right back into REM sleep if I'm tired enough. In the 5 minutes between snooze buttons. Because the one on my phone only lasts 5 minutes.
You're talented.
If I'm tired enough, I can get right back into a dream. Not necessarily the same dream, but...
You can get back there.
Yep. So this is the Julie H. Levy Square from the Great American Aaron Afghan by XRX Books. I don't want anybody to think that the reason I don't want to knit these is because of the patterns, because they are fantastic patterns.
It's the fact that
they're very well
has
written.
To knit in the next
It's not just that, it's the... I'm not enjoying the colors. And quite frankly, I'm kind of tired of knitting with acrylic. I like acrylic. Yeah. This is as acrylic goes, this is really nice acrylic.
But colors have something, and the fabric, the fiber has something to do with your knitting as well.
Yeah, right? And I'm finding that acrylic is getting... I prefer wool or bamboo or anything but acrylic right now. And... yeah. But then I spent a week and a half on codeine, so I completely lost my knitting ability then. And then I started an antidepressant, and it was a very, very small dose of an antidepressant, and I was supposed to start it before I started the antibiotics but then my face blew up, and I was just like, I don't want to start 3 medications at once and not know which one is doing what. So I waited till after I was done with the other stuff to take the antidepressant, and I would sit there with my knitting in my hands and just stare off into space and not... I'd do 1 row and then be tired. And then force myself to do another row and be fed up. And I don't know if it was the antidepressant, if it was residual fatigue from the whole face thing, but I was just so not wanting to knit at all. And there were a mass of other side effects that I really was not willing to wait out. So, yeah, we're going to try something different next time I go see my doctor, because that one is not going to happen.
The antidepressants?
Yeah.
Yeah, it took 4 before I got
something
for me.
I was not willing to deal with the side effects because everybody was like, oh, you need to wait it out, Yeah, no.
No. If the side effects are that bad, mind you, my medication is combined with another one.
Yeah.
So, sometimes that happens.
I'm not even sure at this point that I really need... medicate, because I mean the reason that we decided to go this route was because I was depressed over losing my job and etc., and I've actually been starting to come out of that, and then my face blew up, and so I don't know, I'm not feeling the whole my life is over despair type thing anymore, so I don't know.
You might have just went through a...
I've had problems with cyclical depression since I was a teenager, so every 7 or 8 years or so, I get this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway.
And losing one's job doesn't help.
No. And 2 close friends, plus a couple of other not so physically close friends, but people that I knew online, and there was just a lot going on last year, and it was not a good year. But anyway, boy, can I go on a tangent. This is out of Nitpicks Brava.
Remember, they like to hear us talk.
Yeah, I know, but I feel like I'm a little scattered today because I haven't had any caffeine yet.
Whee!
Nitpicks Brava worsted in the Frisia colorway on size 5mm, which is a US 8 needle. These are arrows Look how pointy those are.
Yeah, I have a set of arrows that I'm using, and I'm just...
And everybody was going, I don't like the chow goose because of the bent needle. You know what? That's what I love about chow goose and arrows.
It's the sound that those make.
Yeah, because they're not as bad as another pair I've got that you like actually scrapes like the blackthorns.
The problem is everything I have is 4 and 4.5, so I have to go into the old stash of needles.
Yeah. So anyway, that's that, and it will be finished this weekend. It will. I know I said that last weekend. I don't have a choice anymore. It's got to be finished so I can move on because I need to get this done. And I would like to get it done by the end of September and not be scrambling to get it done in the last week.
So we have July, August, September, and half of June.
Yeah. So I can do that. I did it last year with yarn that I was not really particularly enjoying knitting with at the time, and
it was wool, though,
it's
right?
fine. Yeah, it was wool, but it was scritchy.
Yeah. Until
I washed them. But anyway, so that lives in my lovely Tulip Festival bag from Mandy Pinecone, who is the Mandy Pinecone Crafts podcast. With number 2. I got a teensy little bit of progress done on my Abigail. I'm a little bit ashamed because I didn't get a lot done, but then I only allowed myself to work on this on Saturday night after I got home.
I think
So I got 1.5 inches done, and you can't really see much because my needle's short. But it's got these lacy sections interspersed with garter sections, and I think I'm on the 5th lace section. I just finished the 5th one. And it's amazing. I love it. I can't wait until I finish it and can block it. But for right now, it's on hold. I put it down Saturday night to force myself to work on the blanket square.
But you should keep that for, you finish a blanket square, do a couple rows. Finish a blanket square.
I could even do like a lace section or a garter section or, because the sections are small enough still.
Mm-hmm. To give yourself that palette cleanser.
Yep. Do a dishcloth one time.
Do you have socks on the needles?
I have
Rob's
3 pairs of socks on the needles.
Okay.
No, only one of which is actually technically cast on. I have 3 half pairs of socks. One for my dad, one for Rob, one for me. And I'm not allowing myself to cast on the second socks because I know that if I do that, I'm just going to zip through the sock and blanket squares.
You love knitting socks.
So, anyway, this is the Abigail Shawl by Rachel Paulsell, who is Night Owl Fibers, and Sweet Knits 1997 on Ravelry.
Yeah!
Yeah, I remembered something. The yarn is Bittersweet Woolery Guilty Pleasures in the Ash on My Tongue colorway. It's this beautiful variegated gray that I love, and it's so squishy. And Bittersweet Woolery's shop is open again
You're going... Sorry.
I'm going where?
You're going to the States July 1st.
I'm going probably on the 29th and coming back on the 5th.
I might just have to order that yarn and send it to Rob's.
Hear that, Tina?
Rob needs mail from us. Me.
Yeah. Anyway. Because we don't have enough sock yarn. It is on a size 4mm, which is US 6. So my projects are actually almost all on different needles right now. It's kind of neat. I've never had this much variety. And that lives in my beautiful Selma bag.
Pre-shop.
Yes, pre-shop, and she is Little Creek Designs on Etsy.
CA.
Because
you won't find it if you don't put the CA.
That would have been helpful to know.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
I had to figure it out myself.
Aha. So that, the VKN girls, that's why we couldn't find the shop. Because none of us could find it by searching for it.
But see, mine, I can still find it without the CA.
Yeah. So that would explain why I couldn't find it. It is the Little Creek Designs CA on Etsy, and she makes beautiful, beautiful, very well-made bags.
She had her shop opening on Monday.
And sold out.
When she went to bed Monday night, there were 3 listings left. By the time I woke up at 6 a.m., they were gone.
Yeah.
She sold 18 bags.
Woohoo! Well done, Selma. And I got the first one. Yeah, I got mine first.
Mm-hmm.
And she does her drawstrings. They're folded strips of fabric sewn up, and they're very sturdy and very, I don't know, I just really like them.
It gives it a nice finished touch.
Yep, because they match the bag fabric.
Yeah.
So,
whatever fabric she has enough of left, sometimes it's the outer, sometimes it's the inner, but
yep.
Yeah.
I love the bag. Thank you, Selma.
And the bias tape makers that I told her to buy, she's really happy with, because
it
folds part of the fabric for you.
And then on Thursday, I was bad and I cast on something new.
But, totally not your fault.
My friend Elizabeth texted me something on Wednesday and said, I haven't seen you in a while and I want to go to the yarn store. Do you want to go out for breakfast tomorrow and then hit the yarn store? I'm like, sure. So we went to the yarn store and I bought yarn. I bought 2 balls of this gorgeous tonal teal color. Can you tell I like teal?
No.
It goes from very, very dark to very light. And it's really, really beautiful. So I will talk about that in the stash section. But I then went to her house and said, well, I don't have any knitting. Let's go to Ravelry and see what we can find. So I cast on and this is a French pattern. It's written in French. It's not translated into English, so it's rough going for me because I've never actually knit from a French pattern before. It is called Cardigan Biscotti, the Biscotti cardigan, by Citel. I don't know if there's an actual name for the designer, but that's all there is on the pattern page. It's fairly well written, but the terminology in French is nowhere. They don't say rows whatever through whatever knit. They say rows whatever through whatever forward. Rows whatever through whatever backward. I'm like, and that's when I figured out that forward was knit and backward was purl. Yeah, frustrating. Plus, I think the math is a little bit off in the pattern because
I think I'd rather Spanish.
There was, I've actually managed to work out an Italian pattern before and figure it out.
Yeah.
But French is hard.
French is,
It's only my first language.
But when you're not used to it.
I went to school in French when I was a kid.
So did I.
I learned all my math in French. Mm-hmm. Whenever I have to do any math,
it's French.
I do it in my head in French. I cannot do it in English. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing. I learned how to knit in English. I have trouble following knitting in French.
But yet I learned all in French and I could not help my kids with science or math because of the way everything has changed. So.
Yeah, the new math is ridiculous.
And I'm married to a scientist.
Yeah.
Translate French to English for him to understand it so that he can help them with their homework.
That's why I'm really glad my kids went to English school, because when my kid was little, apparently he thought I was an idiot. And every time he would have questions about his homework, he'd be like, "It's okay, Mummy. It's a science question. I'll ask Dad." Because he thought I was a moron.
It's because you didn't know the language.
Well, no, he went to school in English. And science I can understand in English.
Not math.
But, yeah. Those tangents. Wild tangents.
We're just kind of scattered today.
Yeah, well, this is what happens when I don't have caffeine.
Why didn't you tell me? I would have got you a Pepsi downstairs.
It's okay. I don't need
Diet
caffeine. Oh, well.
I have Diet Pepper downstairs. Do I need to text somebody?
Maybe.
Okay. Excuse me,
That's
I have
a
permission.
special treat.
I have permission.
You're only allowed to text to kids. Or
Hubby.
Sean. Yes. So anyway, this is the Biscotti cardigan. The yarn is James C. Brett Woodlander DK. Although, to me, it looks more like a worsted. It doesn't really look like DK. It's, especially when I was looking at the DK that I have in my drawer this morning, and it looks really thin, and this looks really fat and, well, bulky. But, it's shade L11. Very exciting.
Woohoo.
On size 4.5 millimeter, which is the US 7. So I have 2 projects on 7s right now. And, this is basically just the cuff around the neck. we'll get there. The pattern does not have different sizes. It's one size. That's it.
Sorry, hubby might be upstairs, so, I'm going to copy both kids. Oh, that was his phone.
Well, he's talking to somebody, so.
Might be Tyler.
Yeah. Sounded like Tyler.
Yeah, but I was...
And that lives in my little cow bag, which is by a local bag maker. The company is called My Stow and Toe. I don't know if you'll be able to read her little tag there. It is they're lunch bags. She makes them as lunch bags, but they are the best little project bags. They are water resistant. They're extremely well made. They're sort of a canvasy type material with a waterproof interior. And
cows.
They have, well, of course, the cows. That's why I bought it. Somebody was talking, I think it was Carlene maybe, was talking about these on the Ottawa board. And I went and looked and I was like, so
exactly like that.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how I, well, except for babies. I squeak much louder for babies.
Yes.
They have nice, heavy drawstrings. They're very, very solid. They have a flat bottom.
Waiter is here.
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Really?
Hi, Ash.
Mm-hmm.
All the kids are home.
My kids don't know how to be quiet, and the
So-
girlfriend is here, so.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, my brother's kids are kind of taking after him. One volume.
So there's no inside or outside
Oh,
voice.
no. Especially not the girl.
Mm.
Kayla's capable of being quiet if you get right up in his face and get his attention. And go, okay, shh.
But if you're surrounded by that...
But Mara Jade, not capable of quiet, that child.
Yes, and she can't do any wrong.
Well, we won't get into that. So anyway, that's my little cow bag, and that's my last whip. And it's your turn now, because I've just waffled on for half an hour.
Waffle, 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 waffles! So, I picked up my blanket square, which is the barn raising blanket by...
I'll just be noisy here.
Yeah, Shelley Mackey and Larissa Brown out of the Knit Along book. And it's on size 2.75 millimeters. They're up there.
Oh, okay. I was looking for my coaster.
Yeah. And so I need more yarn. The stitch marker is where I was, and it's my little owl stitch marker from Jen. See? Little owl. And the yarn, no clue. Something that Mandy sent me, so I think it might be Cuppy Cake. But I'm really liking the colors. I need some of this to make Sean's socks. Like, look at those colors. Aren't they gorgeous?
And that's pretty much showing up properly.
Yeah. So, and I'm on DPNs, which the only thing that bothers me about DPNs is clink, 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 clink. I might put my 9-inch...
They're like jingle bells.
I might put my 9-inch nails. That's a band. 9-inch needles on here and see if that works. So, and that is being housed in my bee bag that Selma gave me for my birthday because I'm like, you can't put that in the shop. Mine.
She did anyway because there were two of them.
Yes, but the inside was different. I chose the one I liked. And what I like about these is because anybody who makes a drawstring with a square bottom, you just fold it over and basket. Move that out of the way so it doesn't fall. The other thing I'm knitting on is my Fractal Danger. What?
My brain is too tired for this.
Why? Oh, for the pattern?
No, I was just the way you said fractal danger, and I was just like, she's going to say something nasty.
No. So, the stitch marker is where I was, and this was short rows. So, it's gone into the reddish color, and you know what I like about this is the line it makes. I kind of love it. So, this is a Martina Bem pattern, and Fractal Danger, it is knit on... I think it's 3.5. Where am
3 millimeter.
There we go. 3 millimeters, which is a US 4.
3.5 millimeters US 4.
Okay.
It's 3.5 millimeters.
Yes, it is, because, it says it right on the needle. This is out of fiber optic paint box in the Espresso Gold Crimson.
Espresso Crimson Gold.
Whatever. So, I got quite a bit of progress done.
Yep.
So that, and that is living in my key bag that I made myself.
I'm super happy that you decided not to frog that.
Nope, I've decided
It's too pretty.
Yeah, I've decided that the Torn Gable is going to be frogged and probably used for a exploration station.
Ha! I win.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're not the only one who said that.
I know.
Yes, that's that. The other thing, I think is something in here. Yes, the hat, which I knit, frog. I think I did that about 20 times. It's because brain. So, where the stitch marker is down there is where I was. So, you know, I got quite a bit done. I just want to show the ridges, how it looks. You can see the ridges on it. So every time there's a dark green. What? Nothing. Okay. Anytime there's the dark green, I do the purl bumps, and it's kind of cool.
Tanya, you know what I'm thinking.
Are you going to let me in on the secret?
Not on the podcast, I'm not.
Alrighty. And so this is the Rib for Your Pleasure hat
I'm naughty.
by Katie Pichet, which she thanked me for pronouncing her last name right. But I'm from a French background, so Pichet.
I was going to say, that's how it's said here.
Yeah, it's Piche, but she said people call her Peach.
You know, my mom has cousins who live in the States. She's got cousins in Connecticut, Vermont, and Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And these are people whose, like, my grandfather's brothers moved to the States, like, a really long time ago.
Okay.
And some of them, their name is Gautier, and they call themselves Gothier.
Mm-hmm.
What? Oh, okay.
Just fixing a mistake. So,
all right.
that is knit on 3.75 millimeters, which is a US 5. And it is housed in the bag I made from fabric that Selma gave me. And man, I have DPNs in there.
I was going to say, there's jingle bells in there.
There is. There is. I think that's all the projects.
They're jingle bells for knitters.
Pretty much. So that is what I have on the needles. Somebody's calling me and I'm not answering it. See what it does? Buzzes.
Oh, that's buzzing. Okay.
That's buzzing, but my Fitbit buzzes when the phone rings.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would drive me a little bit crazy.
It's a call from Ontario. It's one of those. So, no answer.
That's okay. I get calls from United States all the time.
So do I. Every time they come in, I block.
all our 1-800 numbers always show up as being from the U.S. for some reason.
Yeah. So, Stitch Talk.
Well, that's all you, so.
Yeah, I know. Stitch Talk. So first thing, Selma's shop, like we were mentioning, did really well. She wants to thank everybody for just visiting the shop, not let alone buying bags. And she...
no, she's got to get sewing again.
Yeah, she's going to be sewing again. She's going on a 3-month leave without pay this summer because she's taking a yoga course, like a yoga teacher course. So...
Which is so cool.
Yeah. She's going to have time to make bags and spend a little bit more time, but she was just flabbergasted. And I'm like, called it. I did also spam the crap out of it on Instagram. So I've been sewing. As you've seen fabric on Instagram, I've actually got some finished bags. You've seen this one before. So these are the flip-flops, and the inside is like a green. This is basically, I think that's like a 1 skein bag. Maybe 2.
It's a shawl size bag.
Yeah. So there's that.
It's bigger than a sock size bag.
Yeah. And then I have a bunch of wee knot bags. So this one.
That's the fabric that Sue loved so much that she begged Diane for the bag. No, that's not the same one. That's different.
Mandy had some of
yes,
this.
because I have a little needle keeper in that.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Messed that up.
That's okay. So that one's...
It's similar, though.
It is. So there's that one. And this one is hugely popular. And I decided I'm not going to reserve it for anybody. When it goes up, it goes up. And if it sells, it sells. And I really had to butcher the fat quarter to get this right. Because I wanted all the beetles.
The fabric placement, yeah.
Yeah, I wanted all the beetles on
Had
the
to
bag.
get all 4 of the boys on it.
And then there's the picture of the 4 of them down here. And then I chose purple.
I have a little progress keeper, not a progress keeper, a little notions pouch,
and that was from a different.
Oh yeah, because it was yellow and red background, wasn't it?
So there's that.
I'm just batting 1,000 today.
And I have a flip-flop mini bag, wee bag, with a nice green interior. These are all the wee bags. They're like, basically you can fit a sock project in them.
Yep.
Then there's this bright fabric that I fell in love with. And I put orange on the inside because, you know. This I bought with you in Ottawa. And then I found this in my stash from somebody. The blue that's inside the fox bag.
Don't know what she's talking about.
There's a fox bag with the same interior. That blue, the blue with the little white.
Because it matched the berries on the fox bag.
Yep.
The berries and the hearts.
Then we have this.
That's pretty.
Fairies?
Yeah. Yes, that's the fairies.
Fairies.
Oh, that's why I think that's so pretty. I bought that, I think. Is that the one I bought, or was mine purple? Mine was purple.
Yeah, and it's kind of sparkly, but these two I had in the shop before and they hadn't sold, so I wanted to show them again. And then I had made this one previously with leftover fabric from Mandy. It's New York Rangers hockey. And then I have a leftover football bag from the thing with Boston Gin.
Yes, the pigskin party.
Yes. So those will all be going in the shop very soon. I will be announcing it on Instagram when I do so. So pay attention to my feed because I will give you no warning. Instagram, they'll be in the shop. So that's the stitch top. Ta-da!
I fixed a pocket. My daughter had a hoodie with a big one of the pockets was gaping open. I sewed that up.
It's stitching.
Next, I really have nothing to say about sewing.
Next is the Canada Cal. We're getting close, and we have a lot of people who are waiting to cast on until July 1st, which you don't have to, but some people are doing that because that's what they want to do. And we got a new prize. I had ordered some stitch markers from Leanne, who is Canadian. She's from down east, and I had ordered these for myself, and she threw in a set, and I will post a picture because they're hard to see. They're Canadian. It's a Canada thing. Is it focusing? I can't tell.
Yes, it is. So
those were donated. I bought the stitch marker set and then a separate progress keeper. And there's still prizes coming in. I'm still getting messages, so I have photographing to do. And I wanted to do a quick shout out to all the podcasts who mentioned that they are taking part. I know the Grocery Girls, people are coming over to our group because they heard about it from the Grocery Girls. They heard about it from Knitting and Stitches, who's Moira down east. But the other people who said they were taking part were Socksetra, who is Shannon, she's from BC. Fairy Little, who is Marcia from BC. Relentless Knitting Company with Carla, and Emily.
Spit it out.
Yeah. Snappy Stitches with Chrissy, she's from BC as well. Penguin Soup with Ginny, and she's in Ontario now, right? Penguin Soup, yeah, she moved to Ontario. Yarnivore, who is Blue Ruin, who is Canadian but living in the States because she married an American. Make Things Club with Romperlust.
I love that username.
I didn't put her first name. That's why.
I love that username.
Knit One Geek 2 with Karen and Maggie. The Victorian Studio with Maureen. Like I said, the Grocery Girls with Tracy and Jody. Knitting Go with Heather. Nekozuki Knits. I can't talk today. With Katie. And The Wool Gathering with Natasha and Meredith. And then I was contacted yesterday by Wet Coast Wools with Glenna and Bernadette.
Glenda.
I can't talk today.
Nope.
And some of these are doing their own kind of prizes and stuff, but others aren't, and they're going to send people over to our FO thread. So it doesn't necessarily mean that those podcasts have the same rules as us. Because I know Moira from Knitting and Stitches is not having the same rules.
So you can double dip?
Triple, quadruple, whatever.
You could dip all the way across the country.
So, stash. I'm just going to move right into that because she got a crap done.
I may have acquired some things this week, which... May. I'm going to put this down now. Well, I've already talked about the 2 skeins of yarn that I bought. The James C. Brett. And I've apparently lost the knitting. Here we go. So it's James C. Brett, Woodlander, which I had never heard of. It's a DK, supposedly a DK. It really looks like a worsted, though.
Oh, definitely.
So this sweater might end up a little bit bigger than I intend, but that's okay because the baby will eventually grow into it. Color L11. And they had a bunch of straight tonals, but they also had a bunch of variegateds in like earthy tones.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful yarn. And it was fairly cheap. I spent a whopping $16 on yarn.
For both?
So, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So it was not expensive. Otherwise, I would not have bought it. Because I am not really at this point able to have disposable income to spend on yarn. That said, I then went out.
She did not. Oh, you did buy some, or no?
I bought this stuff.
Okay.
First off, Brandy, who is Eat My Yarns on Instagram and Ravelry, she bought me some squishy. She had it sent to my house. But would you believe this is $75.25? Like, touch this. I know, it feels like MCN. Mm-hmm. It is from Lady Pearl, who is out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And I love this colorway because
it's you.
She picked it because it was Doctor Who.
Really?
Yes. Oh. It's from the Vincent Van Gogh episode. This is a reference to the Sunflowers painting, which is my favorite. I have 2 favorite paintings. There's Starry Night and there's the Sunflowers.
Because sunflowers?
Sunflowers are my favorite. And I love this yarn. It's called For Amy. So it's a reference to that episode. And because in the episode, I believe they change Van Gogh's story a little bit, and he paints the sunflowers for Amy or something like that. It is just her straight fingering. It's 100 grams, 462 yards. Ooh. So very generous yardage. It's 75/25 superwash merino nylon.
That's gonna make some squishy socks.
And there's a nifty little blurb about the design. Well, the yarn dyer. Lindsay Miller, owner of Lady Pearl Designs, dyes each skein of yarn right on her kitchen stove. She creates colorways inspired by her favorite geeky things. Sometimes she succeeds. Each skein is hand-painted and is therefore a work of art. Works of art are nearly impossible to replicate, but she tries. She hopes you geek out about a yarn. And I totally have. I sat there, the day it arrived, I think it was
midweek.
Yeah, I don't remember. It was Monday or Tuesday. And I literally just sat there petting it the whole evening. Not knitting.
Who needs
obviously.
A cat? Who needs a cat?
I just sat. My cats will not sit on me like this.
Oh. One of my cats will.
It's so squishy. I was watching Jen with Ozzy last night. And Ozzy was sitting there and letting her, she was giving Jen kisses. I'm like, damn it, why can't I ever have cool cats? I get asshole cats. Sorry.
Bella, when you pick her up, you have to put her over your shoulder.
Well, yeah, Zach's cat is like that too, but she only likes it when Zach picks her up. She doesn't like it when I pick her up. Except she will sit at my feet and beg for me to pick her up for like an hour. So when I finally do, she's like, oh, you're not him. And then she'll leave. My cats are jerks. And George, well, you don't pick George up.
Neo doesn't mind Sean picking him up, and he tolerates me picking him up, and he does not tolerate the kids.
He doesn't tolerate anybody. This is the cat that I sat here petting for a good 5 minutes until he realized that I was petting him, and then he lost his, went a little bit crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've already, said one nasty word today. Sorry.
You did? Mm-hmm.
I said asshole.
Oh, okay. thought you meant.
So anyway, that's my Lady Pearl yarn, and she has a really nifty logo. I don't know if she drew that or if she got somebody to draw it for her, but it's very nice. And I would highly recommend checking out her shop because look at how beautiful this is. And then I should have gotten this yarn like 2 weeks ago, but then my face exploded. Well, no, more like 3 weeks ago, but then my face exploded. So I ended up picking it up last weekend because I totally forgot. I started taking the painkillers and I totally forgot about everything.
At least you didn't get clicker happy online.
No, because I know I'm broke, so. I ended up with 8 skeins of Regia from somebody's D-stash, and she gave them to me in this nifty plastic case. 8 skeins of Regia, enough to make 4 pairs of socks. I have 2 skeins of this one, which is Regia Zufari in color 5871, which is blue-green. And I suppose there's a little bit of green in there. Mm-hmm. I've got 2 skeins of this, which is beautiful. It's a gorgeous rainbow yarn. This is Regia Cafe Facet Design Line. In the colorway 4450. I don't know what it's actually called because I didn't look it up. But it's beautiful rainbow stuff. And I got this Regia Zufari in shade 5863, which is Schlang Oscar. I don't know what that means. It sounds vaguely dirty to me. I don't know what that means. I don't speak German. And then she threw in 2 skeins of this stuff. It's also Regia, but I don't know what or what color it is. It's a beautiful mix of reds and purples and sort of grayish. But I couldn't find it anywhere online. So I don't know what it is. It didn't have a ball band. So I got those 8 skeins of Regia for $20.
Did you try looking on yarndex.com?
No.
Because they have discontinued stuff on there.
So I had actually, I thought I was buying 6 skeins, and she threw 2 more in, and I think I have enough sock yarn to last till Armageddon at this point. I have my beautiful sock yarn pillow. I can just fill it with skeins of sock yarn and sleep on it. So that's all I got. Oh, and the Lady Pearl sent this postcard with it because it was one of her Doctor Who yarns. I love it.
I can hear the phone, but the phone is next door in a game. Right there. Stash.
Yes, your turn.
So I did not have this with me last week to show it because I had loaned it to Selma, or I had forgotten it at home, or I don't remember. But Ashley bought me this for my birthday. It's 99 in Step-by-Step Methods of Increase and Decrease by Judith Durant. She is the best-selling editor of One Skein Wonders.
Yes.
This. I've wanted this for a really long time, and I wanted it to go with my cast-on and cast-off book.
Which I have.
Yeah. So it's wire bound?
It's the
spiral bound, which I really love because it can sit flat.
Yep.
And the pictures are really...
It's very well photographed.
It's
very
really well. It's Judith
clear
Durant.
step by step.
You know, she's pretty amazing. So I got that for my birthday. Oh, look what they show on the back. So I got that, and then Selma got a book from the lot. Shh, can't talk. Selma got a book from the library and asked if I wanted to read it, and I have been wanting to read this, but in Gatineau, we can't get a lot of the really good English books, and we can't do interlibrary transfers.
I cannot word I has the dumb.
There's the podcast name. So it's Knitlandia by Clara Parks.
Which is reportedly a very good book.
Yeah. So, and I mean, it's not very big. It's like 150 pages.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to be reading that. And I don't think did I show this last week?
No, you didn't.
Okay.
If you like the Yarn Harlot, you'll like this.
Yeah.
That book.
And
not the pen.
The other thing my daughter got me was a Pilot fountain pen. And green, of course. So, I really like it.
You actually had it written down and everything.
I did write it down. Look at that. Yay me.
We are rushing towards the end of the current quarter of the Bear and Bag Sock Challenge.
Mm-hmm.
There have been lots and lots and lots of pretty socks. I really like the 2 pairs that were solid with a little bit of the Knit Picks Felici Time Traveler in the middle.
Yeah. And
those
I
are really cute.
Accidentally posted a picture in the thread and not at the top of the thread.
I sent her a message. I was like, did you mean to do that? She's like, too late now.
And so I wanted to show it in person. Oh, that
It's
color's
super
coming
pretty.
out nice. So this is...
Show the other side of the skeins. That's where the deep pink is.
Yeah. Oh, this way.
Yes.
Sorry. There you go. So this is skein. And if you don't know skein, you get out of the hole you're in because you have to know her. Top draw sock, and it is 85 superwash merino, 15 nylon, and it's 437 yards. It's...
I know. I have a skein.
I know. You have a skein?
Yes, I do.
Here's the bag. Something Selma wanted me to ask people. I will start a thread in the group. But because she's going to be off work for 3 months, she was thinking of starting an international VKN so that she can have a VKN with people who are overseas in Europe or that need to actually podcast. For us, it's day, and for them, it's night. So she was thinking about that, and she wants to know if you're interested. So I'm going to start a thread in the group, and if you're interested, she's probably going to start that up in the next little while.
Yeah. Because, I mean, the UK is only 5-6 hours behind us, depending on the time of year.
Exactly, and they're left out, right?
And
I mean,
Europe is 6-7, depending where you are.
Some people have come on, and it's like the wee hours of the morning. Or
We've had people come on from Australia.
Yep.
And it's like 3 a.m. for them. Or
well,
like...
we had somebody come on, and the sun was coming up.
Yeah.
It was before work. She was VKNing with us before work.
Which is pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm. So coupon codes?
We have coupon codes?
Yeah.
Yes, we still have
ongoing.
2 coupon codes. We have Bags by Awesome Granny. It's an ongoing coupon code for 10% off everything in her shop. Mm-hmm. It is the number 2 TS10.
6 Munchkin Stitching, and her ongoing coupon code for 10% is all spelled out 2 Tangled 10.
10.
Yeah. And on the boob tube, I found a new podcast via the podcast swap that Spicy Homemaker is doing, and I got paired up with the mother-daughter team of Cherry Pearls podcast. So I just started watching that last week and kind of like it.
Are they from Washington or something?
I can't remember where they're from. Sorry. All I know is they're moving, and I can't mail anything until today, so it doesn't get lost in the mail, which is kind of a nice thing to tell somebody. And lastly, the mini skein swap.
Boo.
I have decided to stop it. I posted it in the group. The reason I've decided to stop it is because there are too many people not receiving their packages within a good amount of time.
Yeah, because the mail date was April 30th, and there are people who still haven't received their packages, and that's not okay.
No. So, I mean, I've been messaging people back and forth, and I had one person send it to the wrong person because at the beginning of the swap, I switched names, and apparently she didn't see that. Like, within hours, I gave her a new name, and she didn't see it. So, she's actually was really nice, and she's going to send that person some.
Yeah.
But I just decided, I don't have the time to babysit. If you guys still want to do swaps between yourselves, go for it. Post it in the thank you thread if you still want to swap. But no, I'm done.
Yeah.
And,
it's no fun for anybody when people flake out on swaps.
No,
and
it's...
I mean, we know life happens, but you have to communicate.
Yeah.
You can't just
And people were communicating with me, and I was communicating with the person they were sending to. So,
yeah.
If you communicate with me, they would have known.
Yeah.
And I don't have the time. I've got... as it is. And it's a lot of organization. Like, there was like 50 people. So, and then we were doing it 4 times a year, so I wanted to make sure nobody got the same partner twice.
Yep.
So, anyways, maybe I'll look at it again next year. But for this year, I've decided to stop it. And I think that's it.
Are we done?
I think we're done.
I'd say that's a yes.
Oh, speak. I can't speak.
Speak, girl, speak. You can do it. This is usually what we're like after a full day at a festival. We have no excuse.
I was up at 3:45 yesterday.
Why?
Don't ask. And then this morning my daughter worked at 6, so I was up at 5. So,
It's not even dark at that time anymore.
no. I'm getting average of 3 to 4 hours sleep a night. That's because I can't get my butt to bed before 12 or 1 o'clock, but that's my own fault, but it's just like, so.
We won't get into what time I go to bed. Nope. I usually get sleep in 5-hour chunks, but I get 2 of those chunks a day.
Yeah.
So it's...
Well, that's my problem. I'll come home from work and go, I need a nap.
And this was, unfortunately, I went through a period like this when I was 18, where I was awake for 7 hours, sleep for 5 hours, awake for 7 hours, sleep for 5 hours, and it really messes with you. So, I mean, if I could live like that, that'd be great. But I can't get a job that will permit me to do that. I cannot, there's no way I can get anything done during the 7 hours in the middle of the night because stores aren't open and
kids are sleeping or...
Well, no. The other day I went to bed at 3. Zach didn't go to bed till 7.
He's on holidays.
I was like, what time did you go to bed last night? And he's like, this morning?
So, anyhow, we were going to let you go.
Yes.
And next weekend, I'm having dental surgery. Part 1 on Tuesday, part 2 on Thursday. Part 2 is the major part. I'm having an implant put in. So it's going to be, we'll see if I can record. If not, you'll get this.
I'm only having dental surgery on Tuesday. So,
thanks.
Whap.
Wave the white flag!
The white flag's a weapon now.
So,
it's a weapon of mass
see you
goofiness.
when we see ya. Now we're just getting stupid.
Yep.
Stop
Bye.
that.
Time to go.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, click it.